There we go. It says Kalyl will be starting soon.
Yep, I got you. I'm starting it.
All right. All right, ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Kalyl Foxx.
That's right.
He is currently ranked 29th for all-time wins. And on the squad leaderboard, on console, he is ranked, let's see here, 14th with 6,000 something squad wins. And today, we are going to interview him. So the first question is, what made you start playing Fortnite, Kalyl?
Well, first off, how you doing, R1? It's great to see you again. Great seeing the somebody else in the passive community. And what made me start playing Fortnite? You know, when the game was announced at a electronic show a few years ago, I heard it and I thought it sounded fun. The idea of a 100-person battle royale seemed to be appealing, so that's why I started playing it.
When did you start playing it?
I started playing it in Season 2.
Okay. So when did you start the grind for wins?
Man, you know, the grind for wins, I played Season 2 solos and duos. I got my first duo with a kid named Murgy, and we're still friends. And we still play together sometimes. My very first win. My squad grind started in Season 4 to Season 5. I started to realize that squads was a more social way to play the game, and that found the interest for me.
Of course. I remember I met you in Season 7, I believe, when I saw you on leaderboard.
Yep.
And that was the first time I heard of Kalyl Foxx.
Yep.
So was that your big breakout season, would you say?
You know, yes and no. I think Season 6 I was on globals, and Season 5 I was on globals, and number 49th place in Season 5 and 37th place in Season 6. But Season 7 was the season that a lot of the OGs came out, and you had a lot of the legendary names trying to push the leaderboard that season. Season 7 I finished with 1,200 wins and 12th on the leaderboard, and that was very difficult. It was during a time where no one played on cell lobbies, and the game was more genuine and pure. A great time in the
Of course. Tons of talent on that leaderboard. I think I was like 10th or 9th or something like that. I had 1,400 squad wins that season, but I was pushing that too.
Deepest season ever.
Yeah, that was a great season with Trillo G grinding. Who else? Like, I don't know, all those OGs.
Luxy, EFG, Z Rotation. You know,
Yep.
it was a who's who of the dabs. God, everybody who was anybody in the passive home was grinding back then, or the passive community.
Oh yeah, 100%. So this is the next question. What made you start playing passive to begin with? What made you develop the strategy that you use today?
Wow, you know, that's a great question. I thank you for asking it. What made me started playing passive is because playing tactically in any video game has always been fun to me, and when I was growing up, there was no multiplayer, so the whole idea of when you bought a bit of video game, whether it be Tomb Raider, Zelda, Mario Brothers, Contra, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, was to actually beat the video game, was to actually get to the end of the game. And playing passive not only ensures you give a chance to complete the game every single time, but gives you an opportunity to get a ton of wins and to learn how to play differently, tactically in a different way. As everybody has an opportunity to play however they want, whenever they want. But I always thought the passive community gave people a different look of how to play the game and a different idea and just something else they can do and be in the Fortnite world and be in a community and talk, you know, and not just be dead the whole time. And be stressed out pushing, almost kind of like chilling out and living in the Fortnite world, if that makes sense.
Chilling in, just soaking it all in, enjoying the surroundings.
Just hitting trees.
I feel you.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, that's one of the main reasons why I play passive as well. I can just chill and relax, get wins, and gain a lot of recognition as well.
That's right.
All right. The next question is, what do you have to say to the people that would criticize your playstyle?
Wow. You know, I'm gonna say everybody doesn't like mashed potatoes. Everybody doesn't like green beans. Everybody doesn't like things. This world's a very big place. There's a lot of people who serve different gods and different things, throughout our planet. And I've always encouraged people to be very expressive. And I think those people are kind of like missing the boat on the more progressive way of thinking. I think that's a very weak-minded. I mean,
I 100% agree.
Number one, it shouldn't be anybody's concern what anybody else does as long as you're happy. It would make me question their own happiness. I mean, I've never went onto someone else's stream in my life and asked why they're doing what they're doing. I know this world's a big place. Some people like to, some men like to kiss other men. And that's something that I would never do. But I love people who do that. I love people who can express themselves and live a life in happiness as opposed to live a life scared. Because if you're doing what you want to do, you're living your life without being in fear. I wake up every single fucking day and I thank God that I don't give a fuck about what anybody thinks of me.
100%. I love the attitude, Kalyl, and I 100% agree. As someone who gets a lot of criticism as well from my playstyle, and I 100% agree. So the next question would be, what would happen to one of your teammates if they decided not to listen or follow directions and ultimately maybe cost the game?
Wow. I'm a very passionate player in Fortnite. I mean, some would say explosively passionate. Some would say, I've been known to potentially yell and raise my voice and get a little bit excited in a situation that people don't
Emotional.
Emotional, absolutely. Oh God, it pours out like a breakup. But at the end of the day, I do. It depends on, and my reaction to them depends on how long they've been in here. If they're new and there's somebody that really don't know what's going on, or if they're a young person, or if they're a little kid, I won't say a word anymore. Back in the day, I would have handled it differently. I would have yelled at him and said, "Get under this ramp. What are you doing? What the hell are you doing?" But nowadays, it's more of a reserved, laid-back situation, unless you're somebody that's more established in the passive home. And then my patience seems to run a little bit less thin.
Mm-hmm. So you in the past would yell at kids?
Would I yell at? Have I yelled at kids in the past? Yes. The answer to that question is yes. But
okay.
it's something that I don't love myself for, but at the same time, I think those kids and both parties knew that the passion was just there for winning, and I don't think
so. They knew what they were getting into, is what you're saying.
I mean, we try to make it very clear upon arrival to the passive home of exactly what to expect, and when that expectation isn't met, just like any goal that you try to reach and you fail to get, you could get a little emotional about not completing it. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So you're bringing in a new player, say from LFG.
Wow.
What would you say to that player if they've never played with you before? Like, how would you explain it to them?
Great.
What would you say?
That's a great question. So as soon as someone comes in here, the very first thing I tell them, because it's 2020, is not to join any parties. Turn off your notifications. You're playing with Kalyl Foxx. You're going to get a lot of invites. You're going to get a lot of party invites, messages. Just turn off your notifications. And that's the very first thing I tell them. And then I say, we play passive. We push the circle slow. We rotate on the outside of the storm when we fight the last team exclusively. If you can play that way, and if you're down, ready up. If not, we'll find somebody else. Very simple.
Very simple indeed. Okay, so this is a different kind of question, but who was the person you hated the most in the community and why? Or you could say multiple people.
Wow. When it comes to hatred in the passive community, originally I would have been able to answer that question a few months ago a lot more clearly. But I don't really hate anybody.
Maybe not hate, but disagree with or have issues with.
I mean, the only person I guess that I would ever really have issue with, and I think the person that both brought a lot of positive and negative into the passive home, is none other than Wrights XBL. I hate to give him any, light on him, but
Yeah.
there's no mistake about it. Him being in my stream every single day, him going to Instagram, posting about my stream. I mean, it helped me a lot, but a lot of the people that he was bringing in wasn't good. I mean, it's like, yeah, you could bring a lot of gasoline you could bring a lot of wood to a fire, right? But if that wood is wet or if it's not able to be used, then it's useless, and that means you're useless. I don't think Wrights is useless. I think he's a human that lives on this earth that'll have a job and pay taxes and contribute to society in some way or the other. But as far as contributions to the passive home, I think he played a negative effect, and for that reason, I could find a little misguided interest in him.
Totally understood. So, do you consider yourself an artist? The way you play, do you consider it an art?
Absolutely. I think when you think about playing passive and you think about being the last squad alive in a game with 100 people, it presents a certain amount of challenges as far as timing, rotation, communication, and just the genuine ability to stay alive. I think you have to have all four of those things, and not only have them, but be really, really there. I think these games that we play are 70% rotation, 30% tactically and ready to fight. I've been in so many situations. I've streamed every game I've ever played, ever. And
That's good.
I've been in so many situations where I've had people standing right directly on top of my ramps, and the reaction that I get out of people for that. And that's more fun to me than killing somebody. Like, it's more funny to me when somebody walks right over my ramp. My strategy that I implemented that's become known. Hundreds of people use it. Not, if not anymore, did at least once. I've had some kids come in to tell me, hey man, I've never won a game, but I used your strat, and I got to win. So it makes me feel good when kids can come in. Nothing makes me feel better than when a random kid comes into my stream and says that. Nothing on this planet.
You inspire others.
I try to. That's the goal. That's the goal. And even if I didn't, I have fun doing it all by myself. If one person learns anything from me, and that's another thing that I tell people when they come in here, to get back to your other question. Anytime anybody's ever come here, I've said, hey man, you're going to at least learn one thing from me.
Understood. So, just a little side note. So this stream is recording, right? So after this stream is done, I'll be able to go back and get the VOD, right? It's not going to disappear.
Yeah, nope, it's not going to disappear. Just a really quick question, everybody, or just a really quick to catch everybody up who's joining my stream right now. I'm sitting here with our 1 second all-time in solo wins, in here doing an interview with Kalyl Foxx here in the passive home, just to catch everybody up on what exactly is going on. If you're late to the stream for any reason, we're doing an interview with R1. If you would like to see all the questions, you can rewind the stream or wait till the VOD to come out, or go to R1 stream. I'll post his link in the description.
Thank you. Okay, so the next question is, why did you originally get banned on Twitch?
I originally got banned from Twitch because of vulgar language and hateful comments.
Do you want to elaborate on what you said?
I wish I could, but the email that they sent me said just that. They don't give you the direct instance. They just say, hey, this is kind of what you did. They're very vague about it. I still don't know. If I had a reason, I certainly would not have any reservations about sharing it. Absolutely. Because I want to know myself. I don't care. If people, no matter what it was, I wouldn't be embarrassed about it. I wouldn't mind saying it.
Yeah, I understand. So, does it get annoying playing with immature kids? Because I've seen you play with very immature kids on many occasions.
It does. I do play with kids. But the thing is, these kids are very talented, some of the kids I play with, and when things are going well, there's, and some of the kids that I think you might be talking about, I'm known for 10 or 12 seasons. I'm known
Yeah.
since season 4, season 5, and I played with them during a time where they were chill and nobody was really like that. I think the thing about me is people get really comfortable, and the passive homes become like a family, so people feel like they can be themselves. And yeah, while some people might see it as immature, um, they're just kids and they want to play video games just like anybody else. And all of us were immature kids at one point. I think it takes more character to be friends with people that are assholes than be friends with people that try to pretend they're perfect and be fake. It's
Yeah.
having sincere in here, for example. Yeah, it's very stressful for me, and I'm stressed out, but it's funny. And like the shit he does and some of the things he says, and he just keeps the energy going. And if energy is contagious, what are people going to catch from you? I would rather have sincere in here selling 1 out of 10 of my games than a boring squad that maybe we won every game. But sometimes it is fun to have a little bit of that in there. Like, whether it's good or bad, whether it's productive or not. Like I said, I'm not chasing the leaderboard. I'm just trying to have a good time. And some of these immature kids,
I feel you.
funny.
So yeah, yeah, that's true. So you'd rather have people that are more talkative, you'd say?
Yes and no. I don't need you to say one word in here. I think when you're in the stream or when you're in the passive home, I think having one person at least that likes to talk is okay. If the other two don't say a word, I'm fine with that. Absolutely. It's not about. It's not about. It's not all about that. It's just we're focused. We're trying to win. Talking is very broad. It's very vague. It's very like there's so many different variations of levels of how often people talk. I mean, holy shit. I could think of people who in my stream who talk a lot, like Monster J Killa, and then I could think of people who barely say anything. So it varies though. It's interesting.
All right. So what are your goals as a streamer?
Wow. My goal as a streamer is to teach people who have a hard time winning games to win games. My goal as a streamer is to create a passive community that can reflect positivity and a winning culture.
Simple but rewarding goal.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, like I said, just living in the Fortnite world, just like being able to land, talk, hang out in the world, and be alive long enough to create something. Not just, hey, we all just joined the lobby, let's drop sweaty, or like a sweaty drop, and we're all going to die, and you can't build anything that way. I have the relationships I have through the kids that I do because of the fact that we've sat under ramps and talked for hours. And to me, that means something.
Yeah.
Because one person gets annoyed by another person, I'm not going to throw away and forget about these 11 seasons that I played with one other kid. That would be fake of me. It's just like if anybody else came in and the next person got annoyed, what friend would I be, I just try to be genuine. I think, being real with somebody is few and far in between these days.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll take a less talented player too, like if I know he's a good guy.
All right. Good guy, Kalyl.
Okay.
So what is your favorite season?
My favorite season was the season that Marshmello did his performance. I want to say it was season 8 or season 7. The season with the planes. I think when planes were in the game, the game was so fun.
That was peak.
Polar Peak maybe?
No, I'm saying like peak Fortnite.
Oh, yeah, peak Fortnite. Yeah, when I think the map had the Borderlands theme, that was a really good time.
That was great.
I think having snow was really great, like how the snow took over the whole map and progressed away. And yeah, I mean, I think the worst season obviously was when the Fortnitemares came out, and that was in the game for a while. And then this season, obviously, I didn't like a tremendous amount with the water, or last season with the water, I think it was.
Yeah,
I did not like that originally.
I feel you. So this is a different kind of question as well. So what do you do to protect yourself against booters?
I think in 2020, to protect yourself against booters, there's a number of avenues that you can take for protection, starting with, like, obviously, a personal VPN, or having just the ability to never join a party, or, I think when you're...
Have you been booted?
Have I ever been booted?
Yeah.
Wow. I've probably been booted 20 times, and that's it.
Because I know recently you really haven't been booted because you don't join parties and you're on a PC also, but...
Yeah, I haven't been booted in several seasons. I mean, it's been great. Like, no, I mean, I went...
Your teammates, you can't say the same for them probably, but...
Well, some of my teammates, I think everybody's looking for a friend on Xbox, and sometimes when you see that magical Xbox party pop up, you're just so excited, and you see it, and you're like, wow, look at this. An ability and an opportunity for me to reach out my community, broaden my horizons, and join this party, and meet a swell new friend that'll carry on forever. But that often is not the case, as it is a violent, booting beast that will set your team on fire, and have you checking your washing machine.
Oh, yeah. What do you have to say to the booters on Xbox?
The people on Xbox that are booting kids offline are, it all goes back to there being a lot of people in the world, and there's a lot of different kinds of kids. Some people find interest in playing apps on their phone. Like, that shit's fun to them, sitting there playing their phone all day. And I gotta give the booters this. It's more fun to boot a kid offline and sit and watch them reaction. I'd rather do that than play an app on my phone all day. So, I mean, I get it. Like, if that's what they want to do, if that's how they find joy in their life, I don't know, man. I can't account, and I don't know why they do it or what, but what I have to say to them is really nothing. I mean, like, they're going to do what they're going to do regardless of what I have to say with them, and I don't really have anything to say to booters. So as far as, like what I have to say, R1, nothing at all.
All right. Well, that takes care of that. So, why do you end up getting very angry in some instances? Is it just because of your passion for the game or your willingness to win?
Plans are very important in life. I think when you make a plan, I think there's rules and plans in every part of life for a reason, or any established, progressive part of life. There's going to be plans, and there's going to be an idea and an agreement going into any situation, right? So, or at least from my perspective. And sometimes when these plans aren't fulfilled and the general, understanding and the original idea wasn't met, there could be a negative reaction. Absolutely. So if we make a plan to go to the park and you don't call me, and I go to the park and I'm just standing there, or if you're super late and don't say anything, or if you're not under my ramp when I tell you to, or if you're not, something like that. When before the match started, we had an agreement that we would play passive in my general direction. So when those expectations aren't met, absolutely, you could be subject to. And it's only because I want you to stay in here and listen in the future. If I didn't care, I would just kick you immediately and find the next kid. The only reason I really get passionate about anybody, but it's because I do want them to work out. And it's pissing me off that it's not. And it's pissing me off the idea of having to go back to LFG and find another kid and sit there for 30 minutes.
That was frustrating. Looking for people. Sometimes it would take, 30 minutes.
And that's why,
hell, even an hour to find someone good.
And you don't get mad because they're fucking up, because who cares if you lose this game? It's just like, holy shit, we just got you.
Yep. So now this is the next category of questions. Well, just one question for now, but So I know you've had stream snipers in the past. How often would you get stream sniped
How often would I win?
when you were grinding squads? Well, when you grind
Still grind
squads.
squads. How often do I get stream sniped? So when I first started getting a little bit more known on Twitch, I would get stream sniped 5 nights out of 7.
Wow.
Yeah. I never complain. You know, here's how I feel about stream snipers. And I'm not kidding. R1, I love them. Because I don't really care about whether or not I win or lose every game. And all it's doing is bringing more traffic in. I talk a lot of shit and blow a lot of smoke that is annoying me. But at the end of the day, if I have 11 viewers or 20 viewers in my stream, and it's because I'm getting stream sniped and then I'm not getting stream sniped anymore and I have 6 or 7, I would rather take being stream sniped. Absolutely.
Interesting take. Who are the main culprits, would you say?
Wow. I'm going to say Brawa, Noah's XBL, Piffy, shit.
A lot of names dropping here.
Hours. No hours. We got Racings. We have what's his name? It starts with an A. I can't even think of his name, but he's really known in the passive community. I'm gonna say there's some people that I'm forgetting, but there's been so many, so many. It'd be hard for. I'd have to go back to my blocked list on my block
Xbox.
list. Yeah, I got 95 people on. I'm talking Dark Rose is another one. Mudstreak always stream snipe me. Colin, Geku, Known XBL is the guy who stream snipe me constantly. Snipes Fox, a kid that literally his epic's name is Snipes Fox. Druid, man, just
That is a long list, man.
Zo90, God, there's probably a couple that I'm forgetting. Let me just think. Mansley, yeah.
So what happened with I know there was a lot of beef between you and OneMan at one point. What happened with that?
You know, here's the thing about OneMan. OneMan started playing with me at the height of my glory on Twitch, and oftentimes he would see me on and want to get in here, so he got in here, and he would demand me to get players immediately. He's like, "Come on, Kalyl, you're Kalyl Foxx, bro. Where are they at?" And right when he got in here, and it was just like, "Dude, you've been in here 30 seconds. What's up, bro? How you doing?" And then another thing is he would try to take all my squad players and put them on his squads, and they would be less successful than me with my backups. And, you know, it's fine. I don't care. People can play with whoever they want. I don't own anybody on Xbox. Like, it is what it is. But it is a scumbag thing to do. But, like, I can't really get mad about it because these kids can choose. If they want to like to play with you, that's fine. But that was just kind of weird that he just kind of followed my stream around. He would recruit players out of my stream, and you know, I don't think OneMan is the most talented player that I've ever seen. And what I mean by that, he's a great player. He's better than I'll ever be, but he don't clutch up games. I can't ever remember one game where he was the last one alive. And oh shit, OneMan, let's go. I never said that. And I can't even. He's not even good enough to play with me. He's a worse version of me.
Wow.
That's what OneMan is. He's a better player, but a worse rotator than me. That's OneMan. That's the definition of OneMan. Better player than Kalyl Foxx, 5 times the worst rotator.
And so you're saying basically he's not a very smart player.
I think he's a great smart player, but I just think I'm on a different level.
Okay.
When it comes to rotating,
Fair enough.
timing, and getting your team together and motivated and listening.
All right. Well, I forgot to ask this in the beginning, but these are some just kind of basic questions. How old are you and where are you from?
So I was born in the Bronx, New York, and I'm 39. I'll turn 40 in June.
The big 40.
That's
You
right.
looking forward to it?
I mean, I I don't know. I'm just still living my life, and I don't, I think when you look at me, and you look at, all the other 40-year-olds in your life, and I look at the people that I went to high school with, to just have a direct idea of what I look like compared to them. I don't think I'm in the worst shape. So yeah, I don't, and a lot of people find it hard to believe that I am 40. To be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, if I saw you on the street, I would probably like think you were like 33, 34, 35 maybe.
Fair enough.
So the other question is, what do you do for a living, if you do anything right now? I know we're in a pandemic, so a lot of people are not working, but
So I do freelance writing. I edit. I keep where I do it and what company I do it for, very private. No one's ever heard of where I've worked since the very beginning. But I work.
probably for good reasons, because you don't want people online knowing that.
We don't want people. I don't want Rose calling, people and being like, "Yo, do you know Kalyl Foxx from XPO?"
Yeah, you don't want that.
So I keep all of my work stuff very low key. I work during the day, and yeah.
Have you always been streaming, or did you start basically when you were grinding Fortnite?
So I've been streaming for 8 years. I started
8
streaming
years.
Black Ops 2. You can go back to this YouTube channel right here that I'm on and look at my very first stream ever, 2012.
So you've had the most success on Fortnite, though, right? Or
A lot of people watched me when I was on Black Ops back in the day because of we played Search and Destroy and Capture or Kill Confirmed, and I had 5 other guys that I played with every single day. So, I mean, it would be hard to say. I think I got more known on Fortnite. Absolutely, I was never on any list on Call of Duty, so that's for sure.
okay. So what ultimately made you leave the Xbox community behind and switch to PC?
Wow. So as I think a number of people are aware, including maybe yourself, having gone through some of the security issues that Microsoft was being faced with during my time on Xbox, it may have changed now. I think it has, but because of that, and because of the ability to play on a faster, play at 240 frames. And and I had the money to just buy a NZXT custom built computer and never have to deal with it again. I think it was an easy choice. A number of people was trying to send messages on my Xbox that I wasn't sending, that had to do with a number of things that was unapproved, typically here in the passive home for send. So because of that,
You were gone.
yeah, I'm gone.
Would you ever go back to Xbox?
No, absolutely not. This PC is just, have the ability to have 5 different monitors and, a bunch of programs running at one time and have the higher frame rate all at the same time. There's no substitute for a PC. I will never.
All right. So now we're going to get, a little bit darker with this question, but I know it's a question that a lot of fans know or want to ask, and they want to know more about. So you do have a domestic violence arrest.
Yeah.
You do. And a lot of the fans look that up, and like you get criticized for that.
Yeah.
So we want to hear the truth from Kalyl Foxx.
You got it.
Right now. If you want to clear the air, you can take your time.
I think in life, when you love somebody, it can go a number of ways. And there's a lot of ideas of how a relationship could be played out. You have a goal when you start a relationship, and the relationship that I was in, was for 10 years. We were together a very long time, and we built something that I thought was going to last forever. She was my best friend. But just let me have you picture something for a second. Let's just say you're driving in a car one day with your girlfriend that you've been together with for 10 years and you think is your best friend, and nothing else matters in this world but her. We all have been there. We all have loved somebody. And let's just say you're building a life together. And one day, and now I smoke weed, as everybody in my stream knows, and so did my ex-girlfriend. And weed cost money. So sometimes I would be asked by her for $60 for an eighth, or $50, or $100 for a quarter, or something like that. And I never thought anything of it. I thought, damn, smoking a lot of weed right now. Never thought anything of it. I had the money. At the time, I worked for NBC Universal. So I never thought anything of it. So we're driving in the car one day and we're high as fuck. Like, we're at Sonic. We have like chili dogs and like nerd slushies. Fucking gone. Smoking, hotboxing in the Sonic. So we ran out of weed. And I was like, oh, I forgot my wallet at home. Let's just run back to the house and get it. And she just wasn't thinking. She pulled right into a bank that wasn't ours and had an ATM card from a different bank with $15,000 in that account of my money. Now, let me tell you guys something. That shit drove me fucking mad. And I went over there to try to leave her and grab my shit, pushing out the door. She's blocking the door. The cops are over there. I called them to get my shit because I knew shit was about to hit the fan, because I know our history. And she's blocking the door and she won't move. And I'm like, hey, what are you going to do? And the cop's like, well, I can't make her move. It's her house. Sorry, sir. And there's no back door. And, there's a guy watching my stream right now that actually has been to that apartment and could tell you there is no way out in the back. So she's literally standing there. So I literally am pushed through her where my shoulder pushes up against hers and pushes her. And she slams back against the door and falls on the ground and I just knocked this person out. And the first thing the cop says, ma'am, are you okay? What do you want to do about this? Do you want to press charges? I never raised my hand to her. I never pushed her with my hands, kicked her, did anything like that, choked, nothing. All I did was try to get my shit and leave. I'm the one that brought the cops there that day. And when I did get locked up, it was a misdemeanor charge, and I bonded out for $75. I sat in jail for 2 hours. And to think about, Chris, what was that? How he's in my stream right now. He was there that night. I went to his house. The guy that's in my stream afterwards, that night, with a citation that looked like a traffic ticket that I've had to hear about for the past 7 years, that I paid $150 fine for. It's crazy. I've gotten fined harder for running a red light than this. But here we are. And you just got to be really careful in relationships. You can't lay your hand on a woman in any way. I regret doing what I did. I paid the price for it. I did what I had to do. Before that day, I had never pushed a girl, and after that day, I haven't. And I'm 39 years old. So that just goes to show you one little mistake that you make can change the direction of your life for one positive way or a negative way. And for me, I don't think it changed my life in a negative way. I think that it just gave me the ability to teach a lot of other kids a lesson that, when people piss you off, just try to control your emotions. And no matter what you think you're doing, you just have to look at it in terms of the law. That's just the times we live in. You have to, like you have to, like I should have never shoved her ass out of the way. I should have never did that. I got arrested right on the spot.
All right. Is that all you have to say about that incident?
I think so, yeah.
All right. Well, has that incident stopped you from any other opportunities in life, or?
No, absolutely not. I think for me, I'm very frank and upfront about it. If there's ever been an opportunity where it comes up where that could play a factor, I'm always very open and suggestive, and I'm very eager to answer any questions about it. It's something that I'm not ashamed of. It's something that I own. It's a part of who I am.
We appreciate the honesty and the willingness to admit the situation.
Likewise. Appreciate it be an opportunity to talk about it. I think
Yep.
People need to, anybody who watches the passive community should take note and learn a lesson from my mistakes, and just know that
I think a lot of people, they maybe misjudge you over that. They look up Kalyl Foxx on Google and they're like, oh, this guy, wife beater. But, there is two sides to every story.
Absolutely.
So, I have one question left. It's kind of a, more light question after that dark one. But what other things do you like to do in your free time?
So in my free time, I like to play airsoft. Yesterday I had an event that I recorded, and 4 hours of footage. Then that video will be uploaded later today, if I can get the transitions done through on my DaVinci software. I like to play airsoft, and I like to play basketball. I like to go out and drink coffee and walk around the city and take pictures. I like to take a packed bowl and walk around downtown and smoke a bowl and, walk around with a cup of coffee and just be outside.
Vibing.
Yeah, just be outside listening to music.
Enjoy life, man.
Everybody knows in my stream I like to sit here and listen to music. That's something that I really like to do. I play some music that I shouldn't play on my stream every day. Just so we can keep the vibes going. So yeah, no, it's just light stuff like that. Playing airsoft, playing basketball, enjoying a nice cup of coffee. I don't drink alcohol. So
Why don't you drink alcohol?
I used to drink every single day when I lived in Florida. I just don't. I don't know. I just don't drink as much anymore. I think
Has a bad situation occurred because of it?
Absolutely not. I've never been a big drinker ever.
Yeah.
I'll have a couple beers, but I'm not, and I don't really drink beer. If I drink, I'm just gonna drink whiskey on ice. And it is nice, when you go out to a bar. If I'm at a bar and you see me sitting at a bar, know that just whiskey in a glass is going to be in front of me, and that's it.
All right. Well, Kalyl, that's all the questions I have. Do you have anything else you would like to say?
I would just like to say to everybody out there in the community and everybody watching R1 stream to make sure you, I hope you could have taken some of these things that, I've said in these interviews and some of the answers that I gave, and just try to apply them to your life in a positive way, and just to love each other and to be safe during the pandemic, and to definitely subscribe to R1's channel and turn on your notifications to see when R1 goes live.
I appreciate that. Yeah, everybody should definitely be staying safe during the pandemic, and just remember to enjoy life as well.
Absolutely.
So, all right, that's the interview. Thank you, Kalyl Foxx. We appreciate your time here today.
Thank you.
And this video is we appreciate it.
Hey, I appreciate it. I'm going to end my stream right now, and the VOD will be